What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another episode of the One-on-One series presented by Fandoms Anonymous. It has been great getting back into doing the one-on-one series. We have not been doing a lot of videos. Of course, you know, Corona has been not putting out a lot of news as we talk about in the superhero world. But you guys know I love doing my one-on-one series videos because we really get to talk to a lot of people, get to know them on a different basis, and see who they are and what they do. So today I have my classmate from the great S.S. Murphy High School, the best high school in all the land, Jessica. What's going on, Jessica?
Not much. Thank you for having me on. I'm really excited and I'm looking forward to talking to you and especially exploring the topic that we're going to be exploring.
Most definitely, most definitely. So tell everybody about yourself before we get started.
So my name is Jessica. For my business, I go by Jessica Lauren because my business is called Style by Jessica Lauren. I am from Mobile, Alabama, but I reside in New Orleans, Louisiana. My business focuses on personal styling, image consulting, runway shows, editorial styling. I have a regular style segment with the local CBS affiliate, Great Day Louisiana. Occasionally, I'll be on their morning show. And I recently started diving into creative direction. And so I'm looking to try and get more into that this year. So
Most definitely. Who have you styled any? It's okay. It's the dog. We see.
it's my dog.
Cool. It's
Sorry,
cool.
dog.
He was like, "Hey, let me get my toy real quick."
Yeah.
But who have you styled any celebrities?
I have not. I actually have an interest in trying to get into celebrity styling, but I haven't gotten into that yet. So you all stay tuned.
So who's the top two people you want to style?
Michelle Obama
Ooh,
and
okay.
Tracy Ellis Ross. Not that they need it, but if I were to be able to work with them, and Viola Davis.
Oh, okay. Them three heavy hitters. You went
Yes,
to me.
yes.
Gotcha. I love me some Viola. I hate my show ended. That was my show. I watch every other episode. That was my show.
TGIT.
Right. So let's get started.
Okay.
We are in a pivotal time right now in America, especially in the Black community, about everything that's going on, especially with racial tensions that have really never stopped. That's something that has always been a thing, you know, but some people try to make it seem like it's not, but it is. It is. It is what it is. And just recently we had the incident with George Floyd. We know all about that and how that's impacted America and all of the backlash that has come and people who are coming out and speaking against certain things and movements that are happening and statues being taken down and murals and all type of movement is taking place right now. So I shared a post the other day, which I'm a fan of Facebook. I do what I do here a lot on Facebook with a lot of superhero content and movies and good stuff like that, reaching out to different people and talking to them. And I shared a post about a business. Don't know whose business it was, but basically what we do know it was a Black-owned business, and the business was basically saying that they were going to charge you $25 for an appointment, but that didn't go towards the cost of your service that you were getting, and that $25 was non-refundable. So I shared it. I was like, and I made the point that this is why a lot of people don't work with Black businesses. Not all of them, but just particular ones like this that can really throw you off and be like, really, why are you doing that? You don't have to do all that. And Jessica messaged me. Now, Jessica, somebody I've always respected. She's been the most sweetest person I know, even throughout our 4 years of being in high school together. So she came to me respectfully. She said, hey, the time we are right now, could you take that down? And I didn't waste any time. I said, you know what? I'm going to take it down right now. I said, but let's have that conversation. So that is why we are here today. What are your thoughts on that moment right there?
So in that moment, the first thing I want to say, and I actually had this conversation with my dad, I told him I appreciated that we were both mature enough to have that dialogue respectfully. I didn't come at you blowing, trying to cancel you, cursing. You didn't respond at me cursing. I just simply said, hey, Malcolm, I'm coming to you out of love. And the reason and this is what I said in the message, one thing I've noticed over the past couple of weeks with this unrest and uprising and just everything that we're feeling within the Black community, there's also, unfortunately, still some division. Mm-hmm. And this is not an attack on Malcolm. This is just me explaining. So when I saw that post that initially was created, not by him, but it was created by someone else, and then it was shared, it just reminded me of some of the division. And I said to him, I think that there are certain conversations right now in terms of correcting each other that we as Black people, we need to be having in private. Because I'm just going to say it. I think we've already gotten to a point where white people and people of non-color already have too much access to our culture because of the internet, because of social media. And I think that with us having these types of conversations, correcting each other, I'm not saying we're wrong for correction, because I've also seen in that process a lot of people making statements against the protesters. And I think what needs to be understood is there's a difference between those that are protesting and those that are rioting.
You're right.
And even those that are protesting and that protesting has turned to anger, you got to understand, if you shake a bottle up long enough, right, and you take that top off, it's going to explode.
Right.
So that's really what I was saying, that I think, one, we need to be having those conversations amongst each other, but not on a platform where people of non-color can come in and comment and jump in and say, yeah, that's what I thought anyway. That's what I said anyway. Because those people are wrong, but that's giving them a platform to further comment and have a way to jump in on a conversation that doesn't involve them and doesn't need to involve them, right?
Right.
And so that was my thing. That's where I think we're at. I think that we are seeing a lot of people wanting to be allies, and it's about damn time that we had people stand up and want to be allies. But again, in terms of those things, I believe that our people are unified. I believe that we're thriving and we are resilient people and we can get to that space. But I think in order to continue that, we have to start those conversations one-on-one. And I think that what bothered me about the original post that was made, not when you shared it, but the girl that made the post said, see, this is why I don't support Black businesses. And so, one, you're already going into it with a preconceived notion and you're wary of supporting Black businesses. So my question to you is, why is that? Why do you feel that your own kind is lesser than and less deserving of your money? That's my first question. Number two, you didn't have to book that service if you had a problem with the added cost. But if you were really had your heart set on going to this nail tech, why not address her and say, hey, I really had an interest in coming to see you. Can you explain to me why this extra cost is added? You know what I'm saying? You don't know the reasoning for that. And the reason I can also understand that, there's a certain spot I go to for my waxing, right? Right now with COVID, I normally pay a certain price. Right now, because of COVID, they've added on an extra $10.
Right.
And what I believe the reasoning to be is they're not accepting payments when you check out anymore. You have to, in order to book your appointment, you have to pay. So that's an extra cost on them. So I think to cover those costs, cover the extra supplies, because if you come in without a mask, they're offering you a mask. They have hand sanitizer. They have all these things put in place to keep the employees safe and the customer safe. So they're trying to cover these costs while also making a profit. So that could be it. But the whole point I want to make is that that's something that could have been addressed without plaguing all Black businesses. Is like,
right.
See, this is why I don't support. Like, if you see a brother or sister trying to succeed in business and they're doing something that is maybe unorthodox, why not pull them to the side and say, hey sis, I don't know if you know this, but like you could use, you know, this vendor or do this or do that, or like, hey, I really want to support you, but when I came in the other day, your cashier was a little short with me. I don't know if she was having a bad day, but I just want to let you know, like, that could affect, if she does that with other customers, they may not have the patience to come to you and say, hey, you might want to speak to this young lady or this young man. So I just think we need to give each other a little more grace, not excuses, because ultimately I would never advise anyone to go somewhere where your dollar is not valued, because we all work hard for our money, but also like, let's give each other some grace so we can buy back the block. That's all I'm saying.
Right. And I want to go back to a point you made about reaching out to that person and saying something like, hey, you know, I really want to come here, but the extra $25. What, I guess my question is, what do you personally think about Black businesses out there that do that sort of thing? Because we live in a world now where a lot of people are saying, hey, I have a business, and you have people who are in this box of legitimate people out there trying to make money with a product or good or service that they have. And just to be honest, there is a bucket of people who are trying to capitalize off of the movement per se. You know, and they are, I'll say it, in my mind, they are overcharging, because, and you can spot the difference. You can see the Black business that's like, hey, I have these products. Hey, I made this. I did this. These are my prices. Bada bada bada, bada bing, bada boom. But you do have those businesses out there like the before mentioned in Post that are in a sense trying to capitalize. Make it like a get rich quick type thing. And that right there bothers me, because I can, not saying that the work that the person is doing is not of that value, but you can see it. I know you probably come across it in what you do. What do you think about that?
So I would say, if something you're about to purchase, be it a product or a service, gives you pause, and you're not getting the answers to the questions that you need in order for you to feel at peace, I would say don't go forward with it. Whether that's a Black business, white business, a business that may be owned by a Latin person, an Asian person, whatever business that is, if you feel uneasy, don't go forward with it.
Right.
I think that if you're asking me what I think about it, I think that's unfortunate. I think whoever is doing that and taking advantage of people, you're wrong. I think that you will know a legitimate business when you see it. You will know a legitimate business based on your interaction with that business owner.
Exactly.
Based on, looking at the legitimacy of the products. Now, in terms of pricing, I think you have to take a few things into consideration, like when it comes to, say, products, okay? I have a good friend of mine that recently, she has a podcast and she interviewed Beatrice Dixon of the Honey Pot. She had that whole controversy a couple months back where there were some Karens that were outraged because of the commercial of, whatever. And so she was saying in that interview, when she first got introduced to her products by another friend of ours, she was like, oh, this is kind of expensive. This is this and this is that. But what she was saying is, you have to understand, I'm paying for shelf space. I'm paying for branding. I'm paying for packaging. I'm paying my employees. I'm paying for insurance on these products. Right. I'm having to take money and reinvest it to keep product on the shelf. I'm having to take money and reinvest it to create more products, to keep the business going so that we can have more opportunities for more people of color. So I think you have to take all of those things into consideration. And in terms of services, okay, let's say you're going to get your hair done, right? I know for me, my hair has always been long. So if I go in the shop, off the rip, my hair is long and thick. If I'm going for a haircut, that could get up to the 100.
Right.
So if I'm getting highlights, color, that could be up to 200.
Right.
which is why I don't have color in my hair right now because I can't afford it. So
And you don't want to do it yourself because you don't want to go out looking like the person that did their own
listen, I did that in college and it was not a good look, okay?
hair.
I know my strengths and I know my weaknesses and I happily acknowledge them.
It's
But
the same with barbershops too, because when my beard was way much longer, and the beard is coming back. People, don't worry, the beard is coming back. Give me a couple more months, it's gonna get back to where it was. When I go to the barbershop to get a haircut and a beard wash, it's about $40. But and I understand why it's $40 because you're cutting my hair, you're washing, and you're oiling and making sure my beard is at good maintenance. So that is understood, of the cost. And speaking of beard and products and stuff, I want to plug Blendia by India. I got her shirt on today. Blendia, India, her name is India, and that business is Blendia. I went to Murphy with India, marching the band together, and I used her products gracefully. This is her beard butter. I use it all the time. I'm even putting it on my face now with my face regrowing. So it's making it thick, and I'm even putting it on my hair. My hair kind of soft. I don't think my hair has been this soft before. But check out her stuff. It's blendiabyindia.com. You can find her on Facebook, Blendia by India LLC. She has a lot of bath bombs and soaps. My favorite soap is the snakeskin soap.
I'm gonna check her out.
Yes, the snakeskin soap.
Because I love bath bombs.
The snakeskin soap will clean all the dirt off your body. Like you'll be kind of child like, whoa, wait a minute, you got whole new skin. But she does bath bombs and soaps, body butters, body scrubs, everything in the whole 9 yards. She's on TikTok, she's on YouTube, she's on Facebook, Instagram. So go check out Blendia by India. She also has a calendar out. It's a calendar featuring women throughout the year, and they're talking about all the things that they've been through, from domestic violence to divorce to confidence. And that's what her motto: be confident in your skin. So go check out Blendia by India. But go ahead.
Oh no, but I think also you're never wrong to stop and ask a service provider, what does this include? You know what I mean? Like, excuse me, even when someone solicits my services, before we sign a contract, before we book anything, we have a phone consultation. And I listen to them like, hey, what are your goals? Like, what made you seek out my services? What are your lifestyle? What's your lifestyle like? Like, are you constantly going out? Are you a homebody? Are you a busy working mom? Do you work in the corporate field? Are you constantly traveling for work? Like, are you on vacation a lot? Like, what's going on? Do you feel like you need to completely revamp your wardrobe? What do you need? So we get all those questions answered, and then they get to ask me questions like, hey, what do your services include? Like, is this just a flat rate? Is this hourly? How long do the services last? Like, why is it this cost? And so if you have a service provider or a distributor of products that doesn't want to answer those questions, then that's one reason to be wary. So I would advise people, like, ask those questions, but also, you know what, just being honest, like, we're all valuable. Like, just like in your work, you're valuable. Right. So you're not wrong for pricing your products based on your value. Now, that's up to me as the consumer to say whether or not, look at my Wells Fargo account and say, is this in my budget this week? Maybe, maybe not. If it's not, that's okay. But also, don't ask this person to alter their prices because you feel they're less valuable, because there's someone out there that will meet your budget.
Right.
And that's okay.
Yeah. So we know that in this, a lot of Black businesses get a bad rap. Why do you think that is, other than the price? Because I think we've kind of come to a medium of understanding prices and things of that nature. And we've also, and you mentioned earlier about attitude and customer service. But why do you think Black businesses get a bad rap?
I think Black businesses get a bad rap I wanted to actually, I had this conversation with a friend of mine over the weekend because I wanted to get a different perspective. I like to hear different perspectives to see if there's something I'm missing. And so, he was telling me about his experience, and these are his words, not mine.
Mm-hmm.
But what he was saying is that he feels that sometimes we as Black people, when we're encountering each other in business, some of us may not take it as seriously as if someone of non-color
Correct.
is approaching us. And so we may kind of take that for granted and not be on top of things the way we should. And I'm not saying, I'm not painting with a broad paintbrush, but
right.
but just we're discussing, like, why do you think they're getting a bad rap? I think that could be a factor. I think sometimes due to us not having access to certain information for several reasons, I think that sometimes we may not be aware of, even I've been guilty of this, like being aware of certain resources that can better your business, because we're all learning as we go. And I think we may not feel comfortable asking someone else in our industry or asking anyone else. Because to be honest with you, even in my industry, I have yet to be able to find a mentor. So I think maybe sometimes we can view each other as a threat instead of an ally.
Right.
So I think maybe those things tie into why Black businesses have gotten a bad rap. But again, I also think that subconsciously it's been ingrained in our heads that Black people are inferior, white people are superior. So any reason Black people you could go order at a Black restaurant now and they could leave off one noodle and you could turn around, this is why I don't deal with Black businesses. Because you were, like, subconsciously, you're waiting for that one excuse to say, this is why.
Right.
Like, looking for a reason. So I think it could be all of those reasons.
I'm sorry. For me, you miss on my plate. Black, white, Chinese, it don't matter. I'm going online.
I agree.
I'm going online. Because
I agree.
Hard. And I wanted 10 wings, and you gave me 6. We got a problem.
I agree. I agree. No, I agree. Whoever you are, I agree.
I'm going online. My mama taught me that a long time ago. Don't go back in there fussing. Don't go back in there arguing. Go online, because the people up top don't like to see somebody complaining about an issue. Next thing you know, you get an email saying, we are so sorry. We're going to give you 5 free coupons in your email. Just check your app. That's what I like. I think that's more justice than going back and getting there and going out of character over that, missing that one noodle.
Yeah, no, I agree. I agree wholeheartedly.
Do you think, and I'm trying to say how I'm trying to say this, do you think that we over-exaggerate Black businesses when it comes to Black people in the Black community? Because and it goes back to the prices. Do you think we over-exaggerate the prices sometimes? And we've already discussed those that we see that's not good. We can see what you're doing, and and like you said earlier, you have to have that discernment of knowing, and you said something real good. You said that pause, that like, like that post for example, $25. And I'm not getting that back, and it's not going towards it. I can understand $25 for the appointment, especially if it's a well-established place. Even if it's not a well-established place, and they're just making sure that you're not wasting their time.
Yeah,
and that's what a lot of stuff comes in. But like that pause, sometimes it's good to have that pause where you're like, I don't know about that. But then I think sometimes in that pause, we might be over exaggerating. Like, I'm not paying $40 some dollars. Like when I look at India, like I've been in her kitchen where she's literally by hand with a blender and a mixer and a knives and materials making these products. I've been there.
Yeah.
And she does it on TikTok and she does it live on Facebook. So when she says $15 for for whatever this is, or $20 for whatever this is, I'm gonna pay for it because I know for a fact that she has made it. She's done her research. She's looked stuff up. She's played around with stuff. She's mixed stuff. I've seen it take place in action. But what are your thoughts on that?
Okay, so this is my answer to this. I'm gonna say I have not had that experience of going to a Black business and feeling like their prices were inflated, but I'm not gonna discount that if that has been your experience, if that has been your experience or someone else's experience. What I will say is if it is a situation where you're coming into the community and you're just completely inflating your prices to take advantage of people, I think that's wrong.
Right.
I'm just gonna say that.
Right.
Excuse me. Now, one thing I will say too is, just like you just said, you've seen India working on her products and you know the products and the work she puts into it. But everybody else hasn't had that experience with her. So they could go and be like, shorty charging this for this? Oh no, she inflated. But you have a different opinion because you've had that experience with her. So I think we also have to look at it like that. But again, I'm also going to say, I think that taking advantage of people because you're in a certain area, that's wrong.
Right.
So that's my response to that.
And I think that's the key thing that happens a lot is not even just Black businesses, but other businesses of other races.
Right. I was going to say is
they come into the community and honestly speaking, is them more than Black businesses.
Okay, thank you. I'm glad you said that because that was going to be my next question. Like, are you sure it's Black-owned businesses or is it just businesses in general? Because I don't know if you've seen the post going around Facebook about, I think it's Lil Brian's Produce.
Oh yeah.
That's a white-owned business, and he had apparently been gouging his prices, and coming to find out he had been making all these racist statements on social media. So now he's canceled. So that's a situation where someone who's not Black had been doing that. And point blank period, you're wrong. Like there's no ifs, ands, or buts.
And so Lil Brian's has been a place, he had his first shop out there in Theodore. Everybody always talking about Lil Brian's. They got good prices on this and good prices on this. They have Connecticut sausage on sale. That's all you gotta say for Black folks, Connecticut sausage. We running it, we busting down the door. And then he moved near 8 Mile in Pritchard area and builds up this new spot. Everybody just going to him for produce, and then these things come out, these remarks come out, and then bam, that's it. But what bothered me though, and this is a sidestep, what bothered me though is the conversation of having him sit the city council almost like, let's forgive him, let's see what he has to say. No, that once
he's showing you what he has to say, there's nothing else to be said.
And that bothers me, and that's something that people in the Black community do a lot. We become quick to do the forgiving thing, and it's like there's a lady that they soon as that happened, they said, who was the Black person? And the sad part is we don't know. Who was the Black person in this neighborhood, in this area? Because me, other people watching this may not know the area, but me and you know the area. We know the area we're discussing. Who's the Black person in this area that does this? And they said it was this lady named Cut, has a business called Cut Collars. So shout out to Cut Collars. And people have started to go there to her business and started to buy produce and things from her. But it's sad that we don't know the Black business. Especially, and to make it more specific, the brick and mortar buildings. There are buildings and places all around here. We don't know who's running them. We don't know where us is. If I could be, ebonically speaking, and just right here in Montgomery, everything started happening. Everybody started protesting. Somebody said, "Where's the black gas station?" There's a black gas station. I didn't even know that black people ran, that I passed by on my way to work every single day.
Yeah.
Didn't know it. I normally go to the gas station that's got the points and 10 cents off gas and, for my budget, but I'll go there and support that gas station because it's right there. Like I literally, it's right before you get on the interstate. It's sitting right there. But the community did not know. And one good thing that everything that's been happening is there's been a resurgence of posts going around saying, this is the list of black restaurants. This is the list of black this. This is a list of black this or that.
Yeah.
The community, and I think that's most important. But yeah, that little Brian thing bothered me because it was almost like, why are we having a city council meeting to see what he got?
We don't need to.
We already saw what he got to say. Like, everybody, let's go to cut collars and support this lady.
Yeah, I agree. I think in that situation, like, that goes back to when someone shows you who they are, believe them. And I'm good on you.
Yeah.
I think one thing that has come out of this uprising, for me personally, if you genuinely don't know something, but you have a desire to know better in order to do better, let's have a conversation.
Right.
We can have a conversation.
Right.
But if you are choosing to be actively ignorant, and even after I explain my experience to you, you choose to stay there, I'm not about to waste my effort or my breath. I'm good on you. At this point, I have no desire. Like, I've heard a lot of people say, this is a hard issue, it's a hard issue. That may be. I have no desire to hold hands and sing We Shall Overcome and pray for you and understand why, well, Papa told you that black people this. I don't have a desire to change your heart. I don't give a damn at this point. All I care about is voting the right politicians in office so we can change laws and change policies so that our people can continue to have better opportunities and stop facing and being oppressed by systemic racism. But I don't give a damn about trying to change nobody's heart and trying to bring them on. So I say all that to say, to go back to the point of what you said. I'm like, we don't need to have no city council meeting.
Right.
You said where you're at.
Right.
We don't need to forget. We're good on you. We're good. The problem is now your pockets have been affected. So now you want to issue a PR statement. We're good on you.
Yeah.
We're good. We can keep it pushing.
Right. As the young people say, no cap.
Yeah.
And speaking of caps, I got this cap from a black business. It's called In a 90s World. I've been seeing this post all over Facebook, Instagram, and they have
I need you to send me that business.
They have a lot of 1990s material from the Fresh Prince. I believe they have Family Matters, and they got Martin. So I got this cap. I actually got it from a girlfriend because me and my big head don't do caps, but I want to make sure that it was shown today with us talking about black businesses. They were good and responsive. They I hadn't gotten a response about my order yet. So like I said, no need of fussing and cussing. Go ask questions. They had an email like, hey, I had got my order. Within an hour, they said, oh, we apologize. Here's your tracking number. Bam. Cap came on the mail. So we have to do those type of things. But go check out In a 90s Kind of World. Go check out their website. Go check out their social media. They had a sale on caps. This cap was $10, plus shipping $15. They got jackets, and t-shirts, and sweatshirts, all the type of stuff you need to represent your favorite shows of the 90s. Real good material, by the way.
I like it.
Popping. Yeah, love it. Absolutely love it. So go check out In the 90s.
I'm gonna check them out.
Most definitely. Now, let's talk about you, because I've seen all type of people on the TV and stuff talking about styling and, oh, I was styled by this person. I was styled by that person. What is it that you do? And I'm asking from somebody who actually wants to know. Like, my mind just styled like somebody told you what to wear. But I'm pretty sure it's way more that goes into it. So Talk to us about Style by Jessica Lauren.
So, what I do for my business is my main goal is for my clients to leave me feeling better than when they came. I'm not one of those stylists that comes in and is like, oh, this closet, honey, is terrible. Like, let's get rid of it all. Like, that's not me. I like to meet people where they're at because I think that everybody has at least one piece or two pieces or three pieces. You have something in your closet that we can work with and build off of.
Mm-hmm.
Even if you desire to completely revamp your style, you yourself are a starting point. So what I'll do, with personal styling is I'll offer virtual styling. If you don't reside in New Orleans, I know right now it's a bit tricky with COVID. So again, that's something I'll offer, virtual styling. And so what I'll do with that is if you have an event coming up, or if you're trying to revamp your wardrobe, after having our consultation and understanding your goals, once we get sizing down, set a budget, then I'll go ahead and start selecting pieces for you, send them over. What do you think? Yay or nay? Okay, you can go ahead and purchase. So that's what I do with personal styling. With closet revitalization, what I'll do is come into the closet and then we'll get it organized, because a lot of times I found that people have things in their closet that they don't even realize, and they have so many things and so many options that they haven't considered. Mm-hmm. So, we'll do that. With runway styling, I've been involved with coordinating runway shows, the Premiere 1 and 2, which was held in Mobile a couple of years ago. And then I actually got my start working with Mobile Fashion Week. Shout out to them. That's a great nonprofit. And then I'll also do editorial styling. And so editorial styling is, like the 3 to 4 page spreads that you'll see in a magazine, or when you see the cover star dress, like a stylist did that. That's considered editorial work. And so I really have enjoyed that. I've had a few shoots published with fashion magazine publications digitally, as well as print. And then with my style segment, that's one of the things that I'm most proud of, because I really enjoy engaging in conversation. I think that's the best way for me to reach my target audience, which is women, like real women, not like supermodels or like these gorgeous airbrush people. Like, I want to see like the beautiful real woman that is like, yo, I just want to wear a dress and feel bomb when I walk out the door for this date.
Right.
And so that has really been fun for me. One thing that has always been important is, because I'm a woman of color and I have a seat at the table within this industry, it's always been important to me to make sure that people that have normally been left out of the conversation have opportunity. So I try to make sure that I have models of all different ethnicities. I just did a segment and I had a model that was of Asian descent. I had a beautiful model that I always work with, Deshawn. She is a beautiful, beautiful brown skin girl. Like, her skin is just beautiful. I had a Caucasian model. I had a Black model who is like a little bit lighter than me. So a light skinned, Black model. Then of course I had a Caucasian girl. Then I had, out of the guys, I had 2 brown skinned guys and one Caucasian guy. And, I've also done segments where it's important to me for women of a mature age to see themselves represented, because I think the fashion industry kind of pushes them off. And so that's important to me as well. So, I had a shoot in February, and I was able to have full creative direction over selecting the model, selecting the wardrobe, selecting hair, selecting makeup, scouting the location. And that was my first time being able to have full creative direction. And I love that. And I had never even thought of that before until one of the local bloggers, she and I connected, and we got to having a conversation, and she said, hey, let me ask you, do you do creative direction? And it kind of hit me. I was like, I got scared for a minute because I was like, can I do that? I normally only do clothes. Like I may give input on the hair and makeup, but I've never done I've never scouted a location. I let the photographers do that, or the scout locator when I've worked on an independent film. But it took someone like putting that bug in my ear for when I did that shoot, and now I'm like, yo, I could do this. Like, even if it's hard, like I love this. Like having that creative direction and that control, and it was a completely woman-led team. Like so to answer your question, those are all the things I do. Runway, editorial, personal styling, virtual, image consulting, personal shopping, closet revitalization, and now I'm getting into creative direction, and I would like to work with more brands for their creative direction. So
awesome. That's so awesome. So to wrap this all up, the solution. What can both, because it takes two to do anything.
Yeah.
What can both Black people and Black businesses do to have an understanding?
I think Black people have to, and now I think that it's been ignited within us. I think we have to have the desire to support our own and educate ourselves on where those businesses are located within our area, as well as virtually. Like, even if it's hair products, makeup, whatever, like all of those things, clothing, like thinking about those things. And I think as Black businesses, I would say, I'm talking to myself as a business owner as well as a consumer. We have to listen to the consumer and hear them when they voice their concerns and ask questions, because it's only going to better us. Now, I'm not saying allow someone to plague you with a false complaint, correct, but just take a minute to listen.
Yeah.
And foster that relationship, because ultimately relationship is what drives wanting to be a customer. Because one of the companies, one of my favorite cosmetic companies is the Lip Bar. They're Black owned. Their products are bomb, but I love their customer relationship, their engagement, and the way they create their products for the real working woman. So I say all that to say, listen to your customer. And for us as Black people, like, let's really start investing in our own. I'm talking to myself too. Let's really take a minute, let's be prideful in our own, and let's erase that stigma that's been driven to us that we are inferior. We're not. We are a beautiful race of people. We're resilient, we're innovative, we're creative. I mean, we're beautiful, and those businesses are worthy to be celebrated. So that's what I would say.
Most definitely. Last thing that we always ask on the one-on-one series is, what do you think about the word consistency?
What do I think about the word consistency? I think consistency is important in building relationship, regimen, creating habits. I think consistency is necessary every day. Consistency yields results. So that's what I would say about consistency.
Most definitely. All right. Tell everybody where they can find you at, all your social media, your handles, your hashtags, your TikToks. Where can everybody find you?
So you can find me on Instagram right now. My handle is styledby_Jessica Lauren. Keep up with me. I post various styling tips and things of that nature and different events that I'm working on. So just keep up with me that way, and I look forward to seeing you all.
Most definitely. Guys, you know who we are as FANDOMSANONYMOUS. We're all over social media, right here on Facebook and YouTube where you're watching this video. Go check us over on Instagram. We're still there on Instagram. Our Instagram still exists. And TikTok. We have fun with TikTok. TikTok is fun and very interesting. Don't forget, we will be at the Huntsville Comic and Pop Culture Expo in July 18th and 19th. And we're waiting to hear back from Atlanta Comic-Con. We're waiting to hear back from you. again, we're waiting to hear back from you. We want to come so bad. But that's all for us, guys. Jessica, I appreciate you for doing this. And
Thank
we'll
you
see
so
you
much.
guys. Most definitely. We'll see you guys in another video.
Bye.